Hi everyone, this is David with Android Police, and we are here at Google's event in San Francisco launching the new Pixel phones. Google has a number of things on demo here, but what you're most interested in is what I'm holding here, or potentially the large version of it. This is the regular Pixel phone in the really blue finish, which will, for a limited time, be exclusive to the United States. Google will roll it out to other countries eventually. It's not clear when exactly. So like I said, this is the standard Pixel, the 5-inch model that retails here in the US for $649 for the 32GB version. You will have to pay $749 if you want an upgrade to the 128GB version. If you want the Pixel XL, of which there are several floating around on this table here, I'm not currently holding one, that is $769 to start, with an $869 cost for the 128GB version of that, which is very spendy indeed. But let's look at the phone and a little bit about software. Now, if you're familiar with the Pixel launcher leaks that have been happening over the last couple of months, this launcher should look very familiar to you. It has a new pulled-up app drawer design, which I personally remain kind of not sure how I feel about it. It's definitely a big change. Granted, you do get another icon in your quick launch bar now. You can see you've got the Google tab on the left there. You press it, and you can Google search. You have this concentric circle home button that I'm going to try to get a little closer on here. And if you tap it, it's hard to tell in the video probably, but you get the little 4 dots, and if you hold it, Google Assistant pops up for your voice commands very quickly, I might add. And speaking of quickly, wow, these phones are really, 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 really fast. Google isn't really discussing specifics on performance optimizations, but as far as the hardware goes, the Snapdragon 821 chip brings LPDDR4 RAM, obviously a much quicker CPU core than last year's Snapdragon 810, along with UFS 2.0 storage instead of eMMC. So even under the hood, as far as hardware is concerned, these phones should feel much faster just by default. But Google has gone a step beyond that, and they've made some major improvements to touch latency and general system responsiveness. Like I said, they aren't willing to get specific about exactly the changes they've made just yet, but suffice it to say there are lots of them, and the phone just running around here feels exceptionally quick. I mean, these are very, very fast phones. Everything feels very responsive. Getting back to software features, though, you can see you've got the support tab, which appears to be a permanent fixture in the settings app, which is an interesting choice, but if Google wants to target mass market consumers, maybe that makes more sense. You can chat with the Google system rep, send your information, blah, blah, blah. Let's go back to the gestures. We talked about these a while back. They're under the moves area here, and as you can see, one of the cool ones that some people are excited about is the swipe for notifications feature on the fingerprint scanner. So I'm just going to pull down on the fingerprint scanner on the back of the phone. You get a pull down level 1, pull down again, goes to level 2 for your full quick settings. Could be handy if you like that, and you can swipe up to collapse it back down. You can jump to the camera by doing a double twist. Let's see if I can get that to work. That's a little bit harder. I'm really bad at these gesture things. I might just suck at it. I'm not sure. There's also, oh wait, I think this is the flip camera that we want to enable. Let's try it again. Maybe not. Well, I may just be bad at this. It may just not be working right. I'll show you how quick the camera boots up, though. It is pretty impressive. Wrong button. It's really, really fast. Google says they've made some significant improvements to the HDR algorithm. Some of this has been allowed by the newer image signal processors in the Snapdragon 821 chip that allows them to speed up HDR Plus very significantly. So the processing time for photos should be much shorter than it was before, and the shutter lag should be substantially reduced as well. The actual camera tech and sensor tech feel probably fairly similar to last year's phones. I'm not too familiar with the actual technical specifications. As far as the look of the software, it's basically what we expected. This is Android 7.1. We can show you in the settings menu here. You see About Phone, Android 7.1, with an October 5th security patch level. And it generally looks like Android 7.0, just with a new launcher and some extra features in the settings menu. Now, one neat feature that we did talk about that you may have missed, though, that some people will probably or undoubtedly be happy to see, is if we get into display here. Sorry, I'm looking at my camera viewfinder and it's very hard to see. You can see there's a nightlight option. And so this will tint the screen at night. You can set up rules when it comes on to reduce the brightness of the blue pixels on the AMOLED display. This is very similar to Night Shift by Apple, Samsung's new blue light filter on the Galaxy Note 7. So it's definitely a valuable feature, nice to have for sure. There might be a few other things hiding in here that I'm not aware of, but out of the box, you also get Google's brand new seamless updates. They were introduced as part of Android 7.0. The Pixel phones will be the very first devices to offer seamless updates on Android. Seamless updates probably won't come to any older devices. Google said that when they announced them. It would be too difficult, require major repartitioning of the storage to achieve, and it just wouldn't be probably a good experience to try to implement. So these will be the first phones where you will download a system update in the background, it will install, and you'll just reboot the phone, and it's going to be updated, which should be great now that you're getting monthly security patches. And coupled with the new just-in-time compilation that should reduce the amount of app optimization time on the phone, should make updates feel a lot quicker. So this phone seems very much to, or these phones I should say, seem very much to have been designed around being fast. And that seems to be, a good priority to have for Google. Now, other things that I can't really talk to you about right now, obviously, can't tell you how long the battery's going to last. I can't really tell you how good the camera is. I can tell you, hardware as far as look and feel. I really like the blue version. A lot of people do not like the white front though, because you have that sensor window right there, and the blue outline is contrasting, and it's a matter of personal taste. I will say the blue has me a little starstruck right now. Whether that will be true, a month from now, I don't really know, but I like it, definitely. And as far as the bezels, well, they are what they are. They are pretty chunky on this regular Pixel. They are a little less apparent on the XL, of course, just owing to proportions. But overall, the phone feels nice to hold. And actually, Google talked about this briefly. It's very hard to see on camera, but the phone is actually thinner at the bottom than it is at the top. You might be able to just barely kind of perceive that here on camera. So Google's idea is that, the phone should be easier to hold at the bottom, and it's thicker at the top, where the thickness doesn't really matter to ergonomics as much. I would also guess that it's thicker at the top, so they could avoid having a camera hump, which is clever, definitely. As far as functional uses for this back window right here, this little glass piece, well, it does allow the NFC signal to get through the body of the phone more easily. Other than that, though, it really doesn't serve many functional purposes. It is mostly a design element. There's no wireless charging, as some people may have speculated. And speaking of charging, it is presumably the same USB specification as last year, 15 watts over USB Type-C with Google's chargers. Just kind of what we expected on or had on last year's Nexus phones in that respect. The screen is a very hard thing to judge right now. The lighting in this room is pretty awful, unfortunately. So everything looks very yellow. Don't judge the screen by what you're seeing on the camera right here. As far as the Pixel XL is concerned, it's the same phone with a bigger screen and a bigger battery and a higher density resolution to accommodate for VR and such. The regular Pixel does work with VR. So I'm not going to really show the Pixel XL in this video. I don't have anything for good scale to compare it to. You get most of what you need to know just by looking at the regular phone. They start on pre-order today. And like I said, this really blue version will be a temporary US exclusive. Will come to other countries later. As far as the other colors, those are available, and all colors of the phone are available in 32 or 128 gigabyte variants. This video is already running really long, so thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll have a lot more Pixel phone coverage to bring you in the coming weeks and probably months.